Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naisthiki. Welcome everyone in this transcendental study of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are studying the prayers of Vṛtrāsura, especially the last 4 shlokas of the 11th chapter of 6th canto. They are described as the Bhagavatiya Chatushloki. The original Chatushloki spoken by Bhagavan is called Bhagavatiya. And so the 3 aspects in the Chatushloki. The first 2 shlokas describe the Sambandha Tattva. The middle shloka or the 3rd shloka describes the Prayojana, the Rahasya. Always the Rahasya or the most secretive, most valuable thing is put in between. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, the Karma Yoga, then Bhakti Yoga in the middle, and the Jnana Yoga at the end. In the same way, in Chatushloki, the 3rd shloka is Prayojan, Prema Bhakti. And to attain Prema Bhakti, the sadhana or the means or the Abhideya concept is described in the 4th shloka, the beauty of sadhana bhakti, leading to the ultimate purpose, Prema Bhakti, through which only one can experience the sweetness of Krishna and experience Anand, bliss. That is the ultimate purpose of life. So in that point of view, Prema Pumaltho Mahano Prema Prayojan, although it is described, because without coming on the level of love, one is not able to experience the sweetness of Krishna, sweetness, or experience his sweetness. So ultimate Prayojan is to experience bliss. In order to experience bliss, one has to come to the platform of Prema. That's why the Prema Pumaltho Maha. And so this is how we have been studying. The first 2 shlokas, because the Sambandha Tattva is the foundational. When the foundation is very strong and clear without any misconceptions on the foundation of our Sambandha Gyan or our identity, one has to not only know what he is, but also become aware of what one is not or what one cannot be. Like the foundational aspect which is described in Padma Purana, where described as Smartavya Satatam Vishnur Vismartavyo na Jatuchit Sarve Vidhi Nishedhashur Etayor Eva Kinkara. Most of us may have heard this shloka. This basically, it covers 2 aspects of our sadhana bhakti, or the very establishment of Sambandha Gyan, what we are related to, what is our source. So who is the source of everything? Like Krishna says, the Chatushloki Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita is again in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, shlok number 8, 9, 10 and 11. So in the 8th shloka, the Sambandha Gyan, Krishna describes that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mattah Sarvam Pravatate Iti Matva Bhajante Mam Buddha Bhava Samanvita. So Krishna being the origin, so we have to, in order to become situated in our original Swarup. Original means pure Swarup. Not in identity crisis, not in impure, not in misidentification. In our pure Sambandha Gyan means we belong to Krishna. We are Krishna's. That's why, in order to be able to remember Krishna all the times, the scriptures give the injunctions. Smartavya Satatam Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, who is the origin of all, should be remembered all the times. Smartabhya, so this is indicative, like instructive, that this is a, what is called mandatory. It is mandatory for a living entity to remember the Supreme Lord all the times in order to attain the perfection of his human potential. So smartabhya satatam Vishnu, then now our condition state, what we are asked to remember all the times, that very thing we tend to forget, correct? That's why, in order that we don't forget the most important thing, vismartabhyo na jatu, make sure that you don't forget. Vismartabhyo na jatu. Never ever you should forget Krishna. Because in sarve vidhi nishedhashur, all the instructions of vidhi vakya means this what we have to follow and this we have to let go. Vidhi means certain thing we have to follow. And nishedh means vyatirek. What we are not supposed to do, what we are not supposed to. Let go what we are not. Vismartabhyo na jatu. So anything which causes us to forget Krishna is our origin. It makes us forget that we belong to Krishna. We are Krishna's. That is the sambandha gyan. Vismartabhyo na jatuchit, not a single moment one can afford to forget Krishna. That's the greatest loss. The greatest loss is to forget Krishna even for a moment. Sarve vidhi nishedhashuddha, all the instructions and vidhi vakya instructions and all the nishedhatmak scriptures give instruction, you should not do this. The do's means vidhi vakya and not do's. Do's and don'ts. Both are meant to serve only one purpose. Sarve vidhi nishedhashur etayor eva kinkara. Etayor means two things. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. These are the two standing foundational statements to establish the sambandha gyan. So, in the scriptures we find, as we will study our scripture, mainly Srimad Bhagavatam and related scriptures, we find wonderful instructions. So, vidhi vakya, or the instructions to be followed, what they really mean, that if you follow them, we will attain the perfection of our human potential. If we are able to somehow or other, if you schedule our program or schedule our program in such a way that we can remember Krishna all the times, we go back to Godhead, correct? But how is it possible to be able to remember Krishna all the time, 24/7, without falling in love with him? So falling in love with Krishna is seven aspected. One can fall in love with chanting, nama, rupa, in the form of Krishna, guna in his qualities, in his pastimes, remembering pastimes all the time. So they are so engrossing. Nah? Krishna's pastimes could be very engrossing. And one can become fully absorbed. Nam, rupa, Krishna, guna, lila, dham. If one becomes fascinated by the abode of the Supreme Lord, where everything is chintamani, prakara sadmasu, correct? All this, na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakah, yat gatvan nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. Wow. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that one should be fascinated to go to that place by hearing this information about the Supreme Lord. Dham parikar, if you come across some divine person who can be perceived as the associate of the Lord. If one happens to meet Narad Muni, suppose we hear Narad Muni's stories, anybody who met Narad Muni also met the Supreme Lord. So it's non-different. So if one is able to perceive a Narad Muni in someone, then he can also become attached to him. And that becomes equal to attaining attachment to the Supreme Lord. Yat sevaya bhagavatas. If one is fortunate enough to serve such a person who is perceived as our Narad Muni, our Prabhupada, our Shripad, then as an effect of that, Vṛtrāsura bhavet tibra padayor vasanad. Not only all his anarthas would be uprooted completely, but he will develop Vṛtrāsura bhavet tibra, intense rati, toward the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because one who is perceived as an associate of Krishna, his activities and association with him, he will engage us in 24/7 blissful devotional service. He will train us through his association. Not only we will become attached to his most blessedness, but also it will inevitably, invariably cause our falling in love of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are not different. So the first two shlokas, as we discussed in the scriptures, can you think of some instructions? In 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the prayers of Amrish Maharaj. So Amrish Maharaj is describing his, or Shukdev Goswami describing how Amrish Maharaj is following all the devotional do's. Savai mana Krishna padar bindayor vacham sivai kuntha gunan varnanam karau harir mandir marjanadishu shrutim chakara chut sat kathodai kundalingalaya darshani drishau tadbhritya gatra sparshenga sangamam Granam cha tatpad saroj saurabhe Srimat tulasya rastanam tadarpite Padau harikshetra padanu sarpanam Shiro rishikesha padabhivandanam Kamam tu dasye natu kama kamyaya Yathottama shloka jana shrayarati. This is very essential. What is the purpose of following all these instructions? Everybody, what Amrish Maharaj did, what was the purpose? We can imbibe the same motive. What he said, that Amrish Maharaj always engaged his mind in remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead, correct? His lotus feet, Savai Manah Krishna Padara Vindayo. Padar, lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. So mind he engaged in remembering the lotus feet of the Lord. His words, Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunanva, his words in describing the glories of the Lord. His hands, Karau Harer Mandir Marjanarshi. He engaged his hands in cleansing the Lord's temple, and his ears, Shrutim Chakara Chuta Satkathodaya. Shrutim Chakara, beautiful in hearing the words spoken by Krishna or about Krishna by his devotees. What a wonderful engagement. He doesn't stop there. That's why all the Navadha Bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smarnam, Pada Sevanam, Arshanam, Bandam, Dashyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedam, all the limbs of devotional service, 9 aspects, is performed by King Amrish. In spite of being a king with so many obligations, responsibilities, time, he was able to do all these things personally. Mukunda Lingalaya Darshani Rishav. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity of Krishna. Mukunda Linga. Linga means the deity. Mukunda Lingalaya Darshani Rishav. He engaged the eyes. What a wonderful engagement for the eyes, correct? Tadbhritya gatra sparshenga sangamam. And what he did, he engaged his sense of touch in touching the bodies of the Lord's pure devotees. He engaged his sense of smell and smelling the flowers or tulsi leaves offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. And he engaged the taste of tongue in tasting the food stuffs offered to the Lord. How wonderful engagement. Tadvritya Gatra Granam cha tatpad saroj saurabhe. Saurabhe means the smell. He used the nostrils, his nose senses in smelling the fragrance coming from the flowers and tulsi leaves offered to the Lord. Granam cha tatpad saroj saurabhe. Srimad Tulasya Rasana, the tongue, test, faculty of tongue, testing. Tadvritya Gatra Srimad Tulasya Rasana Tadarpite, offered to the Lord. Then Padav Hare Kshetra Padanu, so he used his feet in visiting the places of pilgrimage where Krishna manifested. Every temple is a place of pilgrimage also. So Padav Hare Kshetra Padanu Sarpane Shiro Rishikesha Padabhivandane. He engaged his head in bowing down to the lotus feet of the Lord. Kamam tu dashe natu kama kamyaya. Kama means his desires. Kamam tu dashe. He used the faculty of his willing, correct? Three faculties of our conscious being: feeling, willing, and doing. So we have consciousness, feeling, samvedanshilta. Willing means whatever we aspire. So he used his faculty of aspiration, kamam tu dashe, natu kama kameya, only to attain the servitorship of the Supreme Lord. Kamam tu dashe, natu kama kameya. He did not use his faculty of aspiration to aspire for worldly pleasures and all these things. You know, he already had everything in spite of, rather than engrossing himself into more and more and more and wealth and pleasure and all these things. He used this faculty of aspiration, aspiring to attain the servitorship of the Supreme. Kamam tu natu kama kamya, not for worldly accomplishments. To reach what end? Kamam tu dashe natu kama kamya. Yathuttama shloka janashraya rati. To attain that rati. Rati means the prem, the love. To attain that rati which resides in the hearts of Krishna's pure devotees, the associates of Krishna. What a wonderful absorption in Krishna's service. So this is a very, all these three shlokas, every sadhaka, if he memorizes, then his concept of one part of Sambandha Jnana, first shloka of Chatushloki would be very, very clearly, one will never forget. It's very meditative. So these three shlokas. Then in all the positive, this should be done, this should be done, this should be done. Eyes should be used in this way, nose should be used in this way, taste, tongue should be used, the faculty of touch. All these things are engaged to be able to remember Krishna all the times. Now the second shloka of Chatushloki, which describes, like originally Krishna describes what he is not. In the first shloka, in the same way, Vṛtrāsura, which we studied the last time, in the second shloka, he's like negating. I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Correct? Vyatirek. What we want, at the same time, we should also know what we should not want. Otherwise, they can get mixed up. And so, until we attain the pure state, it's quite possible we can be stuck in mixed up. So we have to remain free from mixed up. So vismaritabhyo na jatu chit. We should never forget Krishna even for a moment. So we should not involve in such activities, such thoughts, such words, such expression, either through our words, expression through our mind, or expression through our actions. So we should not engage in any activities that will cause us to forget Krishna. Vismaritabhyo na jatu chit. And this, but why the simultaneously such instructions are given? The instructions were not enough that you do these things, and you will attain, you will go back to Godhead. But in the conditioned state, it's very difficult to adopt directly the things which are very much essential. And that's why the Vedas and the scriptures train us reminder. It's just like when something is very important, we go for shopping. We list many things, correct? Our father, mother, husband, wife, they tell, okay, bring these things. And make sure that you don't forget bringing the milk. Milk is the most important thing. So don't forget to bring milk now. Other things, whether they forget, but milk will definitely come, isn't it? So in the same way, the scriptures describe in many places. So we will use just one example from Srimad Bhagavatam. Everybody knows that Suta Goswami, he was very, Sonak Rishis, they were very eager to hear the Bhagavad Katha from Suta Goswami, who heard from Shukdev Goswami directly. So they were describing all these wonderful things. In the second canto, third chapter, we find that the importance of this life given to us as a human being. Ayur harati vai punsam udyan astancha yannasau tasya te yat chano nita uttama shloka valdya. What a critical shloka. Very amazing. This shloka can be expanded so unlimitedly because this touches the essence. He said that with every ayur harati vai punsam udyan, right, with every rising and setting of the sun, the lifespan is decreasing. Harati means is stolen. Our life, total life is being stolen with every rising and setting of the sun. What an observation! The great seers of truth and those who understood that within the limited time only we have to accomplish, we have to attain the perfection of our human potential. Human life is not to live just like animals, casual and just total oblivious to our real purpose. Human life is meant for us to attain that focus, to become situated in the focus that what we really are meant to do, what we are up to compared to what we should be up to. So this transition from what we are up to just like casual animalistic propensities. But we should be up to the supreme destination, attaining the supreme, attaining the love of God at the highest level. To reach, to aspire to attain the love of Godhead as per the directions, as per the desire of Mahaprabhu, to attain the lotus feet of our Swamini Srimati Radharani. Because that love of God, it culminates, the culmination, the highest stage is in Radha Dashyam. So now, can you think of, before we go to the second shloka's Vyatireka, can you think of the Radha Dashyam conclusion of the first shloka of Chatushloki? Anyway, contemplate the Radha Dashyam conclusion of first shloka of Chatushloki would be describing, means who one really is, our true identity. In the middle of the night, if somebody wakes you up and asks you, who are you? That kind of focus, incessant awareness of our true identity, that I'm an eternal, what we are, a choicest kinkari of our Swamini Srimati Radharani. One can write this. The Radha Dashyam conclusion of the first Chatushloki of in Vṛtrāsura. I am a choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani. Now we will discuss the second shloka. In second shloka, Vṛtrāsura, we discussed last time. Vṛtrāsura is denying. He's not at all interested. He's saying no. All these temptations as if Krishna is giving him. And our Srimad Bhagavatam also elsewhere describes when Sonak Rishi, when they describe the Ayur Harati Vai Punsam Udyanastancha Yanaso, Tashyate Yat Kshano Nita Uttama Shlokavadaya. With every rising and setting of the sun, our lifespan is being stolen. Harati, stolen. Except for one who is engaged. Tashyate, except him. Tashyarite, Tashyate Yat Kshano Nita, who's every moment, or even one moment. There are many interpretations by our acharyas. Tashyate Yat Kshano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. If one has engaged even one moment in hearing the transcendental pastime of Uttama Shloka Krishna, then that sanskara, that impression of satsang, it will not die out. It will lead to further connection to satsang, further connection, further atmosphere, further opportunity, multiple opportunity one will get to attain satsang, so that his Krishna consciousness becomes more and more mature and becomes fully mature, fructified, and he becomes eligible to attain the Supreme. So just to dissuade us from forgetting, or to dissuade us from engaging in not the right actions, the scriptures give very, very powerful. So he describes a very, very Bilebatoru kramavikramanye na shrinvata karnapute narasya. Anybody can open second canto, chapter 3, shlok number 20. So they will describe the Vyatireka Bhava. In Vyatireka Bhava, it's very beautifully described. If you don't engage in this way, then the effect would be very bad. Bilebatoru kramavikramanye nashrinvata karnapute narasya jivasati dadurike vasuta nachopagaya turugaya gatha. What is the translation? Is very every sense. So to dissuade us, the Vyatirik Bhavas, one who has not listened to the message about the. So first it starts with Shravanam, correct? So this sloka very much in sequence. First Shravanam, it has to be engaged properly. If you don't engage the ears or the faculty of hearing properly, then what will happen? One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous acts of the personality of Godhead, and has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord, is to be considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snakes. Wow, who wants to make his ear holes the holes of snakes? And a tongue like the tongue of a frog. So first Shravanam, then Kirtanam. If the Shravanam, faculty of hearing and faculty of speaking, if they are not used to hear the glories of the Lord, or to speak or describe the glories of the Lord, then our tongue, the faculty of speaking becomes like that of a frog. And frog only makes a croaking noise, only inviting his death in the form of snake. And Gramya Katha, if you don't engage the hearing faculty in hearing the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord, so much entanglement. So we get lost. We get lost. We get trapped by so many misidentifications. And that's why the scriptures are very wonderfully preparing and training a conditioned soul, so that he wakes up fully, not only just enlightened, once hearing, second hearing. No, we are the target of the scriptures. The scriptures are telling the human being, if you don't do like this, this is what is going to happen. What an amazing, the purport is also very powerful, but we can go to Bhara param pat kirit justam apiyuttamangam nanamin mukundam. Next sloka. Shabau karau tau karo no kurute suparya hare lasat kanchana kankanauva. So first, Shravanam and Kirtanam, two things are made intact to be poured. Then Bhara, the upper portion of the body. So one who is engaged properly in hearing and chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for him, the process of surrender will be made possible, isn't it? Before one surrenders, one is devotees are so wonderful. Everybody who comes in touch with the devotees, they are immediately, invariably, they are made to hear, and then if they like what they hear, they are made to speak also, chant also. So hearing and chanting together, that makes the surrender possible. So even after hearing and chanting, if one is not able to surrender, then what happens? The upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, is only a heavy burden if not bowed down before the personality of Godhead, who can award mukti or liberation, freedom from entanglement, attaining the Supreme. So can we see this? If we don't use the head in bowing down to the lotus feet of the Lord, it is such a burden. Only a heavy burden if not bowed down. And the hands. So when one surrenders, then what one does with the hands? He engages in the service of the Lord. And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, are like those of a dead man. Amazing. If not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead. So who wants dead hands? Because if our hands are not used in the service of the Lord, any service other than the service of the Lord, it leads only to death. So that is the idea, that once one surrenders, then one engages his hands in the service of the Lord. Shavau karauto kurute saparya hare lasat kanchana kankanava. Next, varhayite te nayane naranam lingani vishnor nanirikshato ye padau drinam tau drumajanma bhajo kshetrani nanu brajato hareyo. It's a very systematically. Varhayite. Now the eyes, the eyes which do not look at the symbolic representations of the personality of Godhead, like deity form, his forms, names, quality, etc., are like those printed on the plumes. Plumes or plums? Plumes. Plumes of the peacock. Peacock's feather, they look like a very decorative eyes, but they cannot see. Decoration only. And the legs. So one who is able to see, use the faculty of seeing, the eyes. One who can focus his eyes in seeing the lotus feet or the deity form of the Lord, etc. Then one whose eyes is targeting or visioning the right thing, then what is the effect of it? Then he can go there, because legs are used to reach our destination, but with the eyes we find the focus where we want to go. And the legs which do not move to the holy places where the Lord is remembered are considered to be like tree trunks. So all this system. Next, Jivan Jivachavo Bhagavatangri Renum Najatu Martyo Vilas Labhetayastu Sri Vishnu Padya Manujastulasya Swashanshavo yastu na veda gandham. Jivan shavo, the life. If one does not smell the tulsi leaves or flowers offered to the Lord, then his breathing is like only the breathing of the blacksmith's something. The person who has not at any time received the dust. Acha, that's Jivan Bhagavatam. The person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet of the Lord's pure devotee upon his head is certainly a dead body. And the person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body. All the breathing. Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam yadgriyamanair harinamadheyai na vikriyetat yatha vikaro netre jalam gat ruheshu harsha. This is the last sloka. Very amazing. So it's a challenge to all the sadhakas. Certainly that heart is a steel frame, which in spite of one's chanting and chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change. When ecstasy takes place, tears fill the eyes and the hairs stand out on it. Towards the end of the purport of the sloka, Srila Prabhupada describes, he quoting Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who describes that one should be so ashamed that in spite of feeling or experiencing the ecstasy in the heart by chanting and hearing Krishna Katha, if one's heart remains still plagued in the materialism, the material aspirations, hankerings, that heart is a steel frame. Because many times people do cry occasionally, but still their heart remains still very impure. So in order to cause the full purity of the heart, one is to follow, one is to idealize someone, one is to idealize a pure devotee, and our only aspiration should be to become a pure devotee. And such idealism and following very sincerely the instructions and directions of a pure devotee inevitably, certainly will make one a pure devotee. His good scruples, good intelligence will be ignited. Tato du sangam utsrijya satsu sajjeta buddhiman. He will truly become intelligent. How? By attaching his life, his faculty of thinking, mind, his words and his actions under the direction of a pure devotee. Tato du sangam. Then all the anarthas and unwanted impressions of our previous hankerings and desires, vasanas, they will be completely uprooted, because one will not leave the directions, the associations of a pure devotee who will direct him with his powerful instructions. Satsu sajjeta buddhiman. A person truly becomes buddhiman, intelligent. What is the general definition of an intelligent person? One who can sort out, one who can sort out from the problems, lot of problems in life, lot of hurdles in front. So intelligent person is one who is able to pick the right option. But it is said that a conditioned soul, what is the symptom of a conditioned soul? That he will inevitably, if given the multiple options, he will pick not the best one. That's a conditioned state. So a conditioned soul, if he is attached to a pure devotee is not a conditioned soul. So if you follow his directions and he sticks to it, he will also become a pure devotee. He will also. So one becomes truly intelligent only by becoming attached to a pure devotee. Satsu sajjeta buddhiman. Santaha evasya chindanti. And when a person sincerely agrees to follow the instructions of a pure devotee, then the pure devotee obliges to direct him, to amend him through his powerful instruction. And as a result, all the excessive attachments of his mind, Santa eva, certainly, eva ashya, that person, chindyanti, he shreds away all the excessive attachments which one has been carrying over and over, forward and forward for so many lifetimes. Even those strong impressions of desires and hankerings and materialistic ideology, one is able to shred away by the effect of, by the influence of the powerful instructions of pure devotee. Santaha evasya chindyanti mano vyasangam ukti bhi, by his powerful instructions. So these are the anvay vyatirek bhava. So what would be the Radha Dashyam conclusion of the second shloka of Chatusloki? What we don't want? We don't want any swarga, but devotees anyway don't aspire for swarga. But we don't want even Vaikuntha. We are focusing this Chatusloki to understand to acquire our focus. We don't aspire for Vaikuntha Gati, we don't aspire for Dwarka Gati. We don't want to become a queen of Krishna even. We are not interested merely being a Brajavasi. Our aspiration is only to become a choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani. We are not aspiring to become Krishna's parent or Krishna's sakha or Krishna's servant regular, male. We want to become a kinkari. We want to attain a rupa, a form of a kinkari, of our Swamini Srimati Radhika Rani. Nothing else we will allow to be dissuaded by any other proposals, So that is the thing. Now in second shloka, which we discussed yesterday before we go to third shloka, which is the central aspect of Chatusloki. When Vṛtrāsura is denying that I don't want this Naparameshtam, O Lord, source of all opportunities. So Krishna is offering him all the opportunities. I do not desire to enjoy in Dhruva Loka. Nanaka Prishtam Nache Parameshtam. The heavenly planets, or the planets where Lord Brahma resides. Nor do I want to be the supreme ruler of all the earthly planets, Sarvabhaumam, Rasadhipatyam, or the lower planetary systems. I do not desire to be master of powers, mystic yuga. Na yoga siddhir apunar bhavamba. Nor do I want liberation if I have to give up your lotus feet. So all these opportunities which Krishna can provide, but they deprive us to attain the personal association of the Lord. Now, because Vṛtrāsura very humbly wanted to become in the first shloka, Dasa Dasanu Das, correct? Aham Haritav Padanu Dasanu Dasu Bhavitasmi Bhuye. So Krishna, hearing such a humble, seeing very humble attitude of Vṛtrāsura. So Krishna is saying, well, Vṛtrāsura, you don't have to go that down. You are praying to me. And so, why are you so eager? So eager to come to me. Krishna is testing him. I know that in your previous life, you have made a big sacrifice. And you have done a lot of things. Krishna bestowed special mercy, and Mahat Purusha, Narad Muni Angigira Rishi, gave such amazing mercy. And so Krishna is saying that don't become so humble. You deserve much more. And especially Krishna reminding that although you attend such a high level of devotional platform that when Parvati gave you curse to become a demon, you did not resist. Correct? If somebody curses us even little bit, we just become baffled. We become so disturbed. But although you could have prayed to her, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for what I have done." But Vṛtrāsura did not do this. Rather, he just demonstrated tremendous tolerance. And so when one shows such tolerance, understand that Krishna is in full control always, 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 then why should one worry more than one should? So Vṛtrāsura demonstrated that if Parvati is cursing him, he is fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So why should he just try to denounce it or counter curse? That is the point. He demonstrated tremendous tolerance. So Krishna is saying as if that you have such a high, such great quality of tolerance. So I'm very happy with you. So why you have to go down that much that you want to become Dasanu Daso? I'm ready to offer you Indralok, Svargalok, Dhruvalok, beginning with Dhruvalok, Nanaka Prishtam, Nacha Paramishtyam, Svargalok, Nasarva Bhomam, the whole. So he's offering all these things. So Vṛtrāsura is saying, "Oh Lord, I know that you are capable to provide all these opportunities to me. And because you are truthful, Satyakam, whatever you say, I know that you can do it. It's not that just for the sake of saying you are telling. But you are very, Krishna is very chatur. Chatur, how you say in English? Krishna is very trickster. In the name of offering so many worldly things, Krishna can just distance himself from. It is said that in Chaitanya Chaitamya there is a wonderful instruction where it said that bhukti mukti diya yadi bhakta chute. By giving sense gratification or even liberation, if a sadhaka, if a devotee leaves Krishna alone, then Krishna says, okay, leave alone. Bhukti mukti diye yadi bhakta chute. Prem bhakti na diya rakhe lukaya. Then Krishna leaves him, frees him from a devotee by giving him bhukti and mukti. But prema bhakti, because Krishna bestows his love, then Krishna becomes bound. So Krishna is very selective. So one who is exclusively only wants Krishna, then Krishna will be left with no choice but to present himself. So he has to come. So Vṛtrāsura knows, Krishna, why are you offering me all these proposals, all these opportunities? Like Prahlad Maharaj also told the Lord. But Nrsimha Bhagavan, he wanted to establish the standard or the quality of that even when a pure devotee is offered by Krishna some boons, he doesn't want anything except the service of his lotus feet. But still Krishna wants to establish what a pure devotee, what kind of boon he wants. And say that, please remove all the mundane desires from my heart. Such is the prayer. In the same way, Vṛtrāsura, he says that, oh Lord, I have been deceived enough by your Maya. Please don't deceive me anymore. Because you are the biggest trickster. So please don't deceive me. Then there is one particular sequence, if you see in this sloka, second sloka. Krishna says, first he is denying Nanaka Prishtam. Dhruvaloka is it's described like Vaikuntha within this material realm, compared to something like embassy of a country in another country. Correct? In India, is a British embassy and also the American embassy. So that embassy is like that country, although it is in a different country. In the same way, this Dhruvaloka is like a Vaikuntha within this material world, but he's not interested in this, in that Vaikuntha, which is not where the Lord is eternally available, manifest. So that's why he's not interested even in Vaikuntha, Dhruvaloka. And then Krishna is as if then Vṛtrāsura is saying, I'm not interested even in that Dhruvaloka, which is the Vaikuntha realm within this material world. Then what to speak about other proposals which are lower than them? Nanaka Prishtam Nacha Parameshtham. I don't want Indraloka. So what Vṛtrāsura is saying, that why are you giving me, proposing me the opportunities, since I have rejected even Dhruvaloka, even Vaikuntha within this material world, then why are you giving me the opportunities to attain the Indraloka or Sarvabhauma Loka, Brahma Loka, even Yoga Siddhi, and all the lower categories? So we can see from this point of view that if I'm not interested even in Dhruvaloka, then other places like the abode of Brahma, Parameshtham is Brahma's place, which is lower than the Dhruvaloka. And lower than that is Indraloka, lower than that is Prithviloka, and all these things, correct? Lower than that is Asatal, and lower than that is Ashtasiddhis, and the worst of them is liberation. Apunarbhavamba. So what Vṛtrāsura is aspiring only the association of Krishna, attaining the supreme in association of his eternal associates. So Vṛtrāsura is very much focused. Not only what he wants, he is very clear, Dasanu Daso Bhavita Suvya, but at the same time, he is very clear what he does not want. And so he's negating. So if the temptation is given from lower thing to the higher thing, if somebody is to be bribed by somebody, okay, I will give you 10,000 pounds or dollars. No, not really. Okay, I will give you 100,000. Then I will give you 1 million. And I will give you 1 billion. Then at some stage it is possible that he may be tempted. But if somebody says, okay, I will give you 1 billion, he says, no, I'm not interested even in billion. Then to tell him, okay, I will give you 1 million. So that will be very ludicrous, correct? So Vṛtrāsura is describing that, oh Lord, I'm not going to be tempted by all these proposals. So all these temptations, they will only deprive me to attain your direct association. So I'm only interested in attaining the shelter of your lotus feet in your eternal abode, not like one Dhruvaloka. So these two slokas are very, very clear. Now, what then ultimately, what is the ultimate rahasya or secret of success? So that we have to understand that he is very much fixed in his position as Dasanudasa, to become servant of Krishna's eternal associate, means attaining the supreme destination. So all these temptations one has to prepare in consciousness that no temptations can trap us in this material world. All he wants that if I can attain the subservience, dasanudasa of those devotees who carry the pure rati, like Amrish Maharaj. Why he did all these things? Yathottama shloka janashraya rati, the love which resides in the heart of the pure devotees. In the same way, Vṛtrāsura is only begging, bless me, my Lord, that I can attain the anugatya if I can become the servant of your pure devotees, in association of whom I can remain engaged. Manas maretasu patir gunamste. My mind can always be engaged in remembering the transcendental qualities of you. My tongue can be engaged in reciting your glories. Manas maretasu patir gunamste. Gnita vak karma karute, and I can be engaged in various services for your Lord's prayer. Now today's Chatushloki, third shloka, is very amazing. Ajat paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yathavat satara kshudalta priyam priyeva vyushitam vishanna manoravindakshati drikshate tvam. So after denying all the things which are stumbling blocks to attain their supreme destination, then Vṛtrāsura in the third shloka basically begging for the mercy of the Lord, kripa. Prema bhakti one attains only by the mercy of the Lord. One is able to perform sadhana bhakti, but for prema bhakti is a special mercy of the Lord. Prem bhakti is not sadhana siddha, it is kripa siddha. So what kind of so the shloka is very specifically describing the mood of Vṛtrāsura, and we should be able to imbibe that mood of Vṛtrāsura to attain the prema bhakti, or rather to become able to attract Krishna's special mercy. Ajata paksha iva mataram khaga. The shloka itself is very lofty. The translation is very, very good. We can read the English translation, but we can also explain. Ajata paksha, the words which have not, whose feathers have not come out. Ajata pakshaha. Iva mataram khaga. The birds which are, the baby birds which are not able to fly because they don't have grown feathers, they are totally dependent on their mother birds, correct? Oh, lotus-eyed Lord, Ajat paksha iva mataram khaga stanyam yatha vatsatara kshudalta. Then he gives another example. Stanyam yatha vatsatara kshudalta. Vatsatara means the calves, the baby calves. When they become hungry, they are totally very eager to attain the udder of their mothers. Stanyam yatha vatsatara kshudalta. Just as This is another example. Then one more example. Priyam priyeva vishitam vishanna. Priyam priyeva, priyaiva, just like a beloved. When the lover is hankering for the association of the beloved. Priyam priyeva vyushitam, vyushitam vishanna. Very priyam priya vyushitam, vyushitam. Vyushitam means one who has gone away from her. And vishanna means very miserable, feeling very miserable, very morose in the mind, because a lover is always morose without the association of the beloved. Always hankering when the beloved will come and one will be able to serve him, please him, and also become fulfilled oneself. So three kinds of proposals. So this is very, in Chatushloki of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Krishna speaks to Lord Brahma, the third shloka is also very mysterious. What is the third shloka? Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshyachivachascha apravishtani pravishtani. That shloka. Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshuchyavacheshvatu pravishtani pravishtani tatha teshu nateshvaham. You know, very coded, lot of codes in this verse. So basically, this prema bhakti, this aspiration is only of pure devotees. Only sadhaka who follows the path of pure devotional service, the sadhaka who adopts sadhana bhakti. What is his aspiration? To attain prema bhakti, correct? So sadhana bhakti, but how it leads to prema bhakti, it is very mysterious. So the mystery is revealed when one receives the special mercy of Krishna. And that is the mystery about it. So without the mercy of Krishna, one is not able to experience. One cannot come on the platform of love. But in order to attract Krishna's special mercy, one has to keep his focus and his determination. One is protect oneself from any distractions, any temptations. So Krishna likes the determination, the sincerity, and the hankering. Without so here, the hankering part is very much established. To attain prema bhakti, the hankering, the greed, exclusive. So three levels of that hankering, three gradations of hankering is described. So Vṛtrāsura is describing, O lotus-eyed Lord, as baby birds that have not yet developed their wings always look for their mother to return and feed them. As small calves tied with ropes await anxiously the time of milking when they will be allowed to drink the milk of their mothers. Or as a morose wife whose husband is away from home always longs for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. I always yearn for the opportunity to render direct service unto you. So this kind of hankering, what kind of hankering Vṛtrāsura is aspiring? What kind of hankering he is expressing? In three gradations. First gradation also good. They are all ekantic. The birds are totally dependent on the mother birds. The calf is totally dependent on the mothers for his fulfillment. And a morose wife whose husband is away from home, he is only hankering to get his association. So the Ananya Bhav, exclusivity is there. But in that exclusivity also, the perfection, the perfect hankering is described the third kind. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, a pure devotee always yearns to associate personally with the Lord and render service unto him. The examples given in this regard are most appropriate. A small baby bird is practically never satisfied except when the mother bird comes to feed it. A small calf is not satisfied unless allowed to suck the milk from the mother's udder. And a chaste, devoted wife whose husband is away from home is never satisfied until she has the association of her beloved husband. Now this simple purport, our acharyas have used this example to describe in detail that why the gradations, when gradations are there, the first level, second level, and highest level, always in this krama. So something is missing in the first. In the first, you can see what happens. The baby birds are very much dependent upon the mother birds, but only why? Because the food only the baby mother birds will bring. They are totally dependent, like handicapped. They are handicapped. And that's why their total focus, the total hankering, when the mother bird will come, they chee, 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 they do this chirping, only hankering when mother bird hearing their cry brings the some grains in their mouth, chonch mein bhar ke, in their mouth, and feed. So the dependency is very exclusive. Nothing else they think of except their mother bird. But when the wings come, when the feathers, they get the feathers, then their dependence, their attachment to their mothers is no more, correct? So this attachment, the exclusive attachment, even exclusive attachment to the mother is not long lasting. That's why Vṛtrāsura, although he describes that that kind of attachment, oh Lord, I want for you, but he's not satisfied. Then he uses second example. Stanyam yatha vatsatarak shudartha. Just as a calf is very much attached for his hunger to be satisfied. Stanyam yatha vatsatarak shudartha. Shudha, artha, one who is very feeling the pain of hunger. And his dependence on the mother calf. And mother also, because the calf has come out of her body. So mother is also very much attached to the perspar, very much attached to one another. In the case of the birds, what happened? As soon as the birds get the feather, they fly away. No more mother, no more like that. It's very, but the attachment or dependence of a calf on the mother, and mother also shows special favor, special. But what happens? The milkmen sometimes they separate the calf from the mother, and he's always eager, hungry when he can get back to the mother. In India, we see this. Here, I heard in America that they allow the calf to drink as much as they want. Maybe foreign cows have a lot of milk. But in India, because calf is provided only to inspire the cow to give milk, that kind of, it's like when the calf comes to the cow becomes very excited, very enthused, and out of that excitement, she is ready to release as much milk to feed its calf. And in that condition, after some time, the calf is taken away, and then cow is milked. The whole idea is there is a mutual dependence. The cow wants to feed its baby, the calf, and the calf is always eager because that is the thing, that is its food. And that lasts for some time, but we hear that after some time, there's a saying, Gai ne lat maar di. Even the calf kicks the baby away. That means from that day onward, she is not allowing even its calf to feed milk, because the milk is decreasing and it's painful, because the calf, once he has grown and he has grown some teeth, it hurts the udder of the cow. So cow is no more. So he kicks the baby, so that if somebody is so attached in love, how can one kick the beloved? Anyway, so the two have some drawback, something missing. But the third example which Vṛtrāsura is using is very, even Krishna becomes impressed. Yes. So we can understand that the love of the birds is like sadharan, very ordinary. The love of the baby birds is very ordinary. Sadharan priti. Only selfish in a sense. Their eagerness for the mother is only to fulfill their hunger. They are not interested in bringing any joy to the mother. They are totally self-centered. In case of mother, we say that mother cow is in Vatsalya Rasa, is very much attached to the calf. But even that attachment of the cow does not last long. After some time, it kicks the calf. So their love or priti is unsteady. It's not steady. It's not lasting long. But in case of the pativrata, priyam priyeva, beloved who is exclusively devoted to his lover, to her lover, then she is not hankering for anyone else's association. If the husband has gone out for some reasons, some business or some engagement, then she very eagerly awaits his arrival day. Suppose the husband goes out for a month, suppose. After 1 month, the husband will come back or beloved will come back. So now she has to live without the association of the husband or beloved. So very devoted and loyal wife. She is no more interested in doing lot of decoration of her body and putting all these ornaments and everything, because she wants to appear beautiful only for her husband or beloved. So after 1 month he will come. How eagerly she is now will have to wait. So she lives very simply, not very opulently or in pomp, because everything for her is only to bring joy to the husband. Husband is not available. So she puts the calendar, okay, today is first stop. Suppose the husband goes out of town for a month, then she is marking each day, okay, 1 day is over, second day is over, third day is over. Now 28, 29 days, next day, today the husband is going to come. So eagerly she has awaited his arrival. So today, the day of arrival, she is very enthusiastically, very wonderful, cleanses herself, baths, and puts lot of wonderful decoration, fragrant, and decorates herself in such a wonderful way, and waiting what time the husband or beloved is coming. And she greets her with lot of joy. So that much eagerness, steady. So basically, because the love or the preeti of loyal wife or beloved is very steady. There's no adulteration. Externally, we can see that even to find her fulfillment, she wants to first serve her husband with all her limbs and all her means. That's why Vṛtrāsura says, O Lord of my heart, like a beloved. Vṛtrāsura is like the beloved, the Lord is the lover. So beloved, they are each beloved for one another. So Vṛtrāsura is putting himself in the position of a Priya, a wife, who is awaiting the arrival of her husband or beloved. Without him, she doesn't think of her fulfillment even. She wants to be fulfilled only by serving and pleasing him. So this is the thing, his aspiration is expressed of Prema Bhakti. So in Prema Bhakti, only one who attains a special mercy of Krishna, one is able to perceive the relation with Krishna in that Prema Bhakti, like Vṛtrāsura is describing Priyam Priyeva Vishitam Vishanna Manora Vindaksha Didikshate Tvam. May I able Manora Vindaksha, O lotus-eyed Lord, Manora Vindaksha Didikshate Tvam. May I long for you like a morose wife whose husband is away from home, always long for him to return and satisfy her in all respects. So this is in Chatushloki, the third shloka, which describes Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Chyav Cheshvanu Apravishtani Pravishtani Tatha Teshu Nateshvam. If you read the simple translation, it's a secret meaning will not be understood, because it is understood only by those devotees who have fully surrendered unconditionally. That's the point. So the prayer of Vṛtrāsura, the third shloka, in which he is aspiring for Prema Bhakti. He wants association of the Lord in that regard, like a beloved hankering for the arrival of the husband, wife. In the same way, Yatha Mahanti Bhutani. We can see that Bhuteshu Chyavacheshvanu. Mahanti Bhutani, Panchabhut. What are the Panchabhutas? Bhumi, Rapo, Nalo, Vayu. Come. The the earth, water, fire, air, and the ether, Akash. Yatha Mahanti Bhutani. We can see that our bodies, they are made of these 5 elements, inside out. Our body is made of 5 elements, and outside also we see the 5 elements. The Yatha Mahanti Bhutani Bhuteshu Ucha Ucheshvanu Pravishtani. Pravishtani means enter. So the Panch Mahabhutas, Pravishtani or Pravishtani. In Apravishtani, Tatha Teshu Nateshvanu. Now the idea is, in 2 minutes I will finish. The idea is that Pravishtani, Krishna enters the heart of every being. Panchabhutas. Krishna enters the heart of everyone. Krishna enters every iota of the existence. Just as Apravishtani. Apravishtani means Krishna also manifests externally also, outside also. So just as we can understand that the Panch Mahabhutas, so in the same way, Krishna enters every heart in every iota. This we understand. Pancha Mahabhutas inside out. But Krishna enters every being, every iota, every atom. Who understands this? Krishna resides in the heart of every living entity. Who understands this? Does everybody appreciate this fact? Who appreciates? Only Nateshvanu. Tathateshu Nateshu Aham. Only those who are fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, or those who join the path of pure devotional service, they appreciate that Krishna resides in the heart of every being, and in every atom Krishna resides. And also to the surrendered soul, Krishna, Apravishtani means he is also directly available in Vaikuntha Loka, or sometimes Krishna manifests. Pravisht is Paramatma, and Apravishtani means directly available. The Lord who resides as Paramatma Super Soul in the heart, he also manifests outside Apravishtani. To whom? Those who are surcharged with love. So those who come to the platform of love, they are transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord, Vaikuntha Jagat, where they meet Krishna face to face, not Krishna residing in the heart. Paramatma Tattva is not necessary, not required in the spiritual world, where the Lord is personally becomes manifest, personally available to the living entity. So anyway, so I should stop here. We also must aspire for that kind of hankering for the Lord, just like a beloved is hankering to meet the beloved, the lover. So that is the idea. So what would be the Radha Dashyam conclusion of the 3rd sloka of the Chatushloki? That we will address in the next meeting also. So if anybody has any question, something, your time is okay. Hare Krishna, everyone well?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Very beautiful satsang. And as Sri Advait prayed intensely unto the lotus feet of Krishna, Sri Gaura Sundar appeared. And due to the prayers of your lovely devotees, your lovely disciples, Krishna in the form of special mercy in the form of you have manifested in front of all of us. Only and only by the mercy of your beautiful disciples. You have appeared, you have manifested in front of us. Like as you have said in one of the satsangs we had in Glasgow, you said a mantra for an ordinary person, it can remain a very ordinary thing. It's a combination of words, but the magic will only be revealed when we hear those combination of words from our Sakshat Hari, from the devotee whom we perceive as the most blessed. So in the same way, all these shlokas, we would have read it, but the mystery, the mystery behind this, when these shlokas are coming out from your lotus mouth, they are actually displaying their beauty. So
Vṛtrāsura is through his expression is offering us in gradation, and so we can also aspire up to that, because we need steady hankering. That's the point. The hankering or dependence or the priti. Priti means love, attachment of the baby birds and attachment mutual of the calf and the cow. They are not steady. Once they are grown, they are on their own. But the sthai priti means they are never on their own. They are totally dependent on one another. So that kind of steady priti is, as an example, Pativrata Patni. What is the translation of Pativrata? Fidelity, no? One who is beloved, love. So at our level, we can appreciate this example. So when the same kind of dependence and hankering, that without Krishna, without association of Srimati Radharani, we will not settle for anything else, anything less. So basically that kind of steady or undying hope, and that's why one is able to let go all other proposals and all other, if this doesn't work out, we'll just go for something else, someone else. Steady priti. If the love is really real, and what is the foundation of love? The appreciation. If someone loves someone, one should be able to appreciate everything about the beloved. How much one has received, how much joy, or it's an appreciation of. Then one only wants to give. So mutually, when the lover and the beloved appreciate how much they have received, then their attitude is only want to give. So on the platform of pure love, a devotee only wants to offer himself. Everything, and in spite of, even after offering everything, one wonders, is there something more one can do? in order to please the beloved more. So it doesn't become like a static. Okay, I done enough, what else to do? One is always contemplating what more to do. Through in his mind, in her mind, through his or her words and actions, always maneuvering, always contemplating, always imagining what more one can be done to bring more joy to the beloved. It's not that, oh, by my actions and thoughts and words, I have pleased the beloved, so I attain the perfection, correct? Now at the level per se, I become very, very standstill. I become static. No. In true love, it's always evolving with new thoughts, new actions, new expressions, because it is ever ecstatic. So that ever ecstatic attitude mutually remains only when we appreciate what we have got, what we give that can match to what we have received. So when the feeling of we have received so much, even if we give the whole life, 1,000 lives, we cannot repay. We cannot express our gratitude enough with all the sacrifice. But still the devotee wants to offer whatever means. Yes, and as one becomes ready, or one agrees to offer in pure devotional service whatever is at his or her disposal, then Krishna becomes more pleased. Krishna has been waiting since eternity when he will turn around. So our turning around towards Krishna with whatever external situation, position, status we have, doesn't matter. Once we turn around, we want to offer everything and always think what more we can do. And Krishna appreciates, then he bestows more mercy. So he feels more and more indebted, and he becomes blissful. Oh, I have hardly done anything. Krishna has done so much since eternity for me, and still Krishna is bestowing more mercy, more mercy, more mercy. So he keeps on drowning and drowning and drowning, experiencing the more and more mercy of Krishna. So how can he not become fully attached to him? How can he not sustain his hankering to have his direct personal association? How can he not hanker to be able to provide personal service to his lotus feet? In the same way, what Mahaprabhu has come to give us, we must hanker, but we must develop this hanker. It is Mahaprabhu himself exposing our fortune. So why must we settle for anything less? That is a Radha Dasham conclusion of the third sloka, Chatusloki. All right?
Yes, Maharaj. One question.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask how this journey from Maryada, from this awe and reference to Madhurya, to this Rati, to this sweet attachment can be developed from Maryada to Madhurya, how this journey can be traversed.
The whole idea is that Madhurya Bhagavatasara, this concept must be appreciated. The ultimate culmination or the ultimate or the limit of Bhagavata means Godheadness, his sweetness. From God, like dharma is, the platform of dharma is God fearing, correct? But when realizes that Krishna is our best well-wisher, then our honor for him increases, our worshipful mood. But Krishna is also most loving, no? Simultaneously. Krishna is not only the most capable, most powerful, he's the supreme shelter. He's the what is that? Hope against all hope. When nothing else works, Krishna works. No? So our dependency on Krishna for our own existence. That's why we worship Krishna as the provider, as the master. But when we, through satsang only, when we are able to appreciate Krishna as the sweetest Lord, and Krishna bestowing that mercy, so that we become eligible, we become capable by mercy to experience Krishna's sweetness. How would that be accomplished? That's why Mahaprabhu has come. Mahaprabhu wants all of us to experience Krishna's sweetness. And that will be made possible when we attain the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, because Radharani alone experiences Krishna's sweetness to the limit. So through satsang, we can appreciate this aspect of Krishna. So those who are attracted to the opulence of Vaikuntha and opulence of opulent aspect brings a distance. If somebody is very opulent and one feels that awe and reverence, that distance. So if somebody is God, how can you love God? God is so great and I am so tiny, so insignificant. So it's a mismatch, correct? That's why Prema Pumartho Mahan, how to realize God as the most lovable. That's why Krishna manifests as Gopa Rupa. It's an ordinary looking cowherd. And he attracts all of us as a human being. So naturally, Bhagavatam trains us, even when we hear so many wonderful, opulent incarnations of Krishna, very prowess. The same Supreme Personality of Godhead, when he comes in his original form, is the divine couple, Krishna. So naturally, it depends on our attraction in satsang. The kind of Mahatpurush or kind of devotees we associate, then accordingly our interest. It depends on the level of appreciation of a devotee, at what level he appreciates Krishna's beauty, Krishna's pastimes. Then one can be transferred, even if if one has heard so much glory of Krishna in his opulent aspect. But if one is able to associate with a devotee whose consciousness or whose heart and his aspiration is to attain Braja Bhakti, the Bhakti of Vrindavan, and especially in the conjugal rasa, in the Ujjwal rasa, in the Madhurya rasa. then one can gain the attraction towards the aspiration of becoming Radharani's kinkari. So, yojakas tatra durlabham, that very shloka, amantram aksharam nasti, nasti moolam anoshadham, ayogya hai purusho nasti, no human being is unqualified. No human being is ayogya, or one who cannot be made eligible, one who cannot be made qualified. Nobody is there. As a human being, everybody can become qualified through satsang. So in one sentence, the answer to your question is, jiska karoge sang, uska lagega rang. So we have so much variegated association, but ultimately we stick to one, because we cannot entertain going into multiple directions simultaneously. At general bottom level, okay, we have grown, but as we grow in our devotional fervor, our focus becomes one-pointed. Radha Dasya. All right? Hare Krishna. All right. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Pranam
Hare
Shri Guru.
Krishna. Kahiye. Hare Krishna.
Your satsangs bring complete new revelations in our heart, Shri Guru. And as you just said, जैसा करेंगे संग वैसा लगेगा रंग. After coming into your association, I can have little bit understanding, and whatever happens, now I know that I've met my Shri Guru. I've boarded the train. Now I have to attain your mercy, and I can become the choicest kinkari of Srimati Radharani by only your blessing. So I can't feel fortunate enough, Shri Guru. Koti koti dhanyavad. Pranam, Shri Guru.
It's a very rare thing, correct? But who is depriving us? Who is stopping us to go for the rare achievement? What we call rare is like a incalculative way, you know. If out of 1,000 people, only one person becomes eligible or goes for it, then we say it's a rare thing. But in the total spectrum, even if 1,000 out of 1,000 people aspire and attain the Kainkaryatva, become a kinkari, it is still rare. No? So it depends on who associates with whom. So that way it will be rare also. You understand what I mean? Out of as a human being also, like out of 8 billion population today, 750 million, 750 billion, 8 billion, 750 billion population. So you can categorize, you can sort out how many are on some sort of spiritual path, and out of them, how many are on this path, on that path, and how many come in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again, and how many in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line, how many are aspiring what Mahaprabhu has come to give us really, literally. So how rare one wants to feel, it's up to us. You know, it's a great feeling to feel rare, correct? But if we have the association of a rare group, then everybody can enthuse one another to feel that rare. So even rare is not alone, correct? Individually, one can be rare, and also collectively also we can feel rare. Because except oneself, nobody is stopping us. Rather, everybody is only pushing us in that direction only. Somebody will push you, somebody will pull you. So we will always be pulled and pushed to move forward only. Correct? So if one has identified that group and that association, then no stopping, rather going all the way. That conviction must be there, that we are connected to such a person, we are connected to such a path where we only aspire, our only hankering, our only akanksha is to attain that what has been exposed to us is our ultimate potential. All right?
Hare Krishna. Pranam Shri Guru.
Yes, Swami.
Hare Krishna, Shri Guru. Dandavat Pranam. Fascinating satsang, Shri Guru. And this easily can be one of the most sweet and romantic shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. And amazing this gradation and how the hankering comes about. And as Nikhil says, and we realize whatever comes from your divine lotus mouth is transcendentally transcendental. Shri Guru, a question in here. Prabhupada writes in the translation that Vṛtrāsura he's submitting, is it that I yearn to for this opportunity to offer direct service unto you.
Yes.
And
Yes.
previously we heard Asanudaso.
Very nice. Yes, so his greed is increasing, na? So he's very progressive in his prayers. Like Mahaprabhu is progressive, correct? What is it? Nayanam galadastu dharya vadanam gadgad hridayagira pulakai nichita bapuga tavnam grihani bhavishyati. What is the shloka before that? Nayanam galadastu dharya. The fifth shloka. This is the sixth. What is the fifth shloka?
Ainanda
Ainanda tanja kinkaram patitam mam vishami bhavam budau kripaya tava pad pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vishan. Somehow just somehow let me get on board. Let me just be situated as a small dust particle at your lotus feet. Correct? Do you think he's satisfied there? He wants to go further. He wants to become more and more involved. His hankering keeps on increasing. And in increased hankering is showing his total self-surrender. Total self-surrender is not possible without attaining the stage of asakti. And asakti is rarely achieved. Asakti is rarely achieved. So one should hanker for the asakti. One should beg for the asakti. Sridhar Swami said, Charana Smarnam Premna. Loving remembrance is only possible at the stage of asakti and further. Charana Smarnam Premna Tava Deva Sudurlabham. Yatha Kathanchit Sri Gaurahari Mama Bhuyad Aharnisham. The shloka is the prayer of every sadhaka who wants to develop hankering. One should beg Krishna. One should pray to Krishna for something which is very difficult to achieve through one's efforts. No? We pray to Krishna by chanting Maha Mantra. So our prayer should be to achieve that which is very, very difficult for us by any means. That's why this third sloka of Srimad Bhagavatam, or the Chatusloka, is the Rahasya. What is the Rahasya? Rahasya is only by when Krishna, when bestows special mercy, one attains the platform of love. Through one's own effort, one is not able to. So one should pray in hankering. Charana smarnam premna tavadeva sudurlabam yatha kathanchit Sri Gaurahari mama bhuyadhari. Oh Krishna, do something. Please bless me, please, so that I am able to remember you, remember lovingly your lotus feet. This should be the prayer. So today's prayer is the ultimate prayer, in which is aspiring to attain such attachment so that Krishna will allow him to render personal service, just like a beloved is hankering to personally serve the lover who is away or who is still making her way. So in the same way, Krishna, who is the beloved, the lover is hankering when he will come and give me the opportunity to render direct service. That should be the hankering. In case of Prahlad Maharaj also, his hankering is, Prahlad Maharaj knows that Krishna has just come and just gone and has given me so many obligations. But his hankering is, oh Lord, when will you call me for your personal service? That hankering must be there. Otherwise, one say, well, I am engaged in Krishna's service. Krishna gave me instructions and all these things. But Krishna, there is a distance. Krishna is not providing incessant association. So the hankering of a sadhaka should be to be able to be with Krishna all the time in his personal service. So of course, following the instructions of Krishna also, but the hankering of a sadhaka should be to be able to render direct service. That shows special love, na? Even by following the order of the spiritual master Krishna, one has to remain engaged, not in direct or close proximity of Krishna, but his hankering should be there. So hankering will be tested when one is asked to stay away, stay from distance. You know. So even while living in distant place, one is only contemplating. When he can finish the order or the desire of the spiritual master or desire of Krishna, so that Krishna will call me for his personal service. Only to increase our intensity or hankering for personal direct service of the Lord creates a situation where we feel his separation, distance from him. You know? So everything leads ultimately to that hankering, that greed. Because without hankering, without the greed, without that laulyam, one will not experience one won't be able to experience the sweetness of the Lord. So being in distance, the opportunity is there to increase our appreciation, increase our feeling of our perception to see the most blessedness, you know. So when we are engaged in fulfilling the mission of the Lord, the taste is that our hankering to attain his direct association and direct service will always be there. All right?
Yeah.
That is the test. That is the test. Clear?
Yeah. Thank you, Sri Guru.
Hare Krishna, Sri Guru. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Sri Guru, it's so
Hare-
beautiful to hear from you. You bring out this rahasya in the Bhagavatam. Everything that you say is imbued with prema bhakti. It's so enlivening to hear from you, Sri Guru. And like this, the gradation in the Chatur Shloki that we're hearing, the more and more that we hear from you, Sri Guru, the more and more astonishing this message is, the more and more beautiful, the more and more the rahasya comes out. Thank you so much, Sri Guru. I don't have the words to glorify you enough. Hare Krishna.
Our acharyas, Prabhupadas, they have brought this unlimited flow of mercy. Somehow or other we have to just get connected, and we will never be left isolated or alone. Together we can create a tremendous force of purest mercy of Mahaprabhu, messengers of, carriers of ultimate supreme mercy of Mahaprabhu. So this is called total freedom. When one appreciates one's identity as such, the highest achievement, then one will never be distracted. One will never be tempted by any other misidentification. So the identity crisis, as I said in the first reading, is Chatushloki of Vṛtrāsura, the practical application of Chatushloki in our life. The first shloka starts with Aham. Who am I? Correct? This becomes very clear. Who am I? And second shloka, what I am not. Third shloka is the Rahasya, and fourth shloka will describe who is mine. Correct. Aham mameti, the misidentification in relation to this perishable material body. This body is me. No, not this body is not me. But the aspired body am I. I am, my Swamini is a choicest Kinkari. So the Kinkari Rupa, Manjari Rupa, that is me. It is not that mere this understanding that I am not this body, but I am somebody. Correct? That is our direction. I am not this body, then who wants to be bodiless? Is there anybody who wants to become bodiless? If you are not this body, you want to be this bodiless? No. Even if I am not this body, but using this body, I can attain, I can perfect the process, I can achieve the fulfillment of my aspiration to become a Manjari body, to be allowed to attain the Manjari Rupa, Manjari Sarupa. That is the idea. Next sloka, the last sloka of Chatushloki will, who are mine then? Because if I am what I should be, if that is clear, then it would be very easy to identify who are mine. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, pranam.
Acha, what a happy surprise.
Yes, it's evening and I could attend it, although I was a little bit late. I mean, not a little bit, I was about half an hour late and I missed the first part of the Chatushlok. I must just say, like, there are so many things. It's Vṛtrāsura happens to be my Vṛtrāsura happens to be bringing a very fond memory because that's how I began to listen Bhagavatam, and this song has got such a beautiful rag, Maharaj. I mean, the way you sing it, it's completely is deeply etched on in my mind. So really, I'm like, I just couldn't stop from it's just it connects you so emotionally to the song. It just took me back in those days. So Maharaj, just one request. If you could just sing, like, only if you want, like, if you could just sing the Chatushlok in one go, that would be great. Like, we can record it. It's a beautiful prayer as well. Like, I mean, if it's okay with you.
Okay, so one should study the 6 slokas, just like in Chatushloki Bhagavatam. There are two slokas precursor leading to the Chatushloki 4 slokas. And they are very powerful. We discussed, so we have discussed the 5 today.
Mhm.
Last one would be next time. So I can recite, if you want me to recite right now.
No, it's up to you, Maharaj. Whenever, like, it's really up to you. Whenever you feel comfortable.
Okay, as far reciting is there, I can recite even now. It will
That would be
take
great, Maharaj.
less than 5 minutes.
Please, Maharaj.
So these are last 6 shlokas of the 11th chapter of 6th canto. छठे स्कंद के 11वें अध्याय के अंतिम 6 श्लोक, 22 से 27.
Okay.
पुंसां किलैकान्त धियां स्वकानां या संपदोदि विभूमौ रसायां न राति यद्वेष उद्वेग आधिर मद कलिर्व्यसनं संप्रयासः त्रैवर्गिकायास विघातमस्मत् पतिर्विधत्ते पुरुषस्य शक्र ततोऽनुमेयो भगवत्प्रसादो यो दुर्लभो किञ्चन गोचरोऽन्यै अहं हरे तव पादैकमूल दासानुदासो भवितास्मि भूय मनः स्मरेतासु पतेर्गुणांस्ते गृणीत वाक्कर्म करोतु कायः न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ठ्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसत्वा विरहैकाङ्क्षे अजातपक्षा इव मातरं खगाः स्तन्यं यथावत्सतराक्षुधार्ताः प्रियं प्रियेव व्युषितं विषण्णा मनोरविन्दाक्षदितीक्षते त्वां ममोत्तमश्लोकजनेषु सख्यं संसारचक्रे भ्रमत स्वकर्मभिः त्वन्मायात्मात्मजदा rageshu asakta chitta nath bhuyat.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Your prayers, your rag, it literally makes us connect emotionally with this prayers. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
So you have to memorize them.
I will, Maharaj. I will.
How many times I have asked you?
I will, Maharaj. Definitely. Next time I will. I mean, like when we meet next time, you'll see. I mean, I would have memorized it.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Do come.
Jayaji. Jayaji is great. She always makes you sing, Maharaj. She always makes you.
I don't know. I mean, like I just emotionally connect with your voice, Maharaj. I mean, when you sing it, it's beautiful.
No, Shri Guru, whenever I think this is for me and Jaya both, I can say easily with full confidence. Whenever we hear you, especially Vṛtrāsura, it takes us, Shri Guru, to London. It takes us to London, and that evening was so transcendental, so surcharged, and like
Exactly, Maharaj.
I was clueless after that evening. Oh my God, this is Bhagavatam, and especially when you took us through this particular shloka, Ajata Paksha Iva Mataram Khaga. Wow, such a fascinating description, such and so meditative, so descriptive. One
It
can
was very
see and
lucid. It was very lucid. And for days after that lecture, Ashish Prabhu and we were discussing Anand Vigrah Prabhu, and we used to discuss this. We used to listen to this. It was beautiful, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Vṛtrāsura is special because by the kripa of the Mahapurush, the secret that if one has ever got connected to the mercy of a pure devotee, then that the sanskar of that mercy received or perceived will never die. It's up to the living entity how long one wants to procrastinate or postpone one's attaining the perfection of one's human potential. But one cannot self-deprive for eternity now. But sooner the better, na? So it's up to the individual how fast, how much hankering one develops, like what Vṛtrāsura is helping, giving us wonderful sentiments. So they can become ours also, and nobody else is stopping us to imbibe those feelings or to own those feelings except ourselves. Everyone is only helping us. Go for it. So one has to go for it oneself. Others can pull and push you, but the willingness has to be, the momentum one has to gain. Na?
Yes. Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Pranam.
Hare Krishna. All right then. Thank you everyone. It's getting late there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
It's really wonderful and it's really beautiful. Thank you, Jayaji. Because of you, we can hear all the Chatur Slokis from our Sri Guru's lotus mouth. It's really beautiful. Yes, all the slokas are always beautiful, but the real beauty which hides in the slokas just come out when I hear through your lotus mouth. The fact, even the attraction towards the slokas and the attraction to memorize the slokas develops only because of you, a little bit, because not so much, but only because of you, because the beauty is so much enhanced when it comes through your lotus mouth, and it's really amazing. The nectar is showering from your lotus mouth. I think 2 hours continuously without a single pause. It shows how much you want to give, how much you want to give. It's all because of your mercy that I can understand a very, 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 very tiny, a little bit. Yes, it is not possible without the prema bhakti to that we can remember the Lord at every moment, and that prema bhakti, and you know the highest of the highest level Radha Dasham. You just come to give that the Sakshat Hari has come in our life. Yes, Amrish Maharaj, as you told, practices all the Navada Bhaktis. It is not possible for me because I am a Ayogya. But I find all the essence of all the Navada Bhakti in your lotus feet. When I'm hearing you, I just find that all the essence. As you always told that even at the midnight, if someone asks you, what is your real identity? Who are you? And you just try always that I can speak, that we can speak, that I am the choicest Angana, choicest Kinkari of our Swamini. So beautifully you connect all the things, even in Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad or Bhagavad Gita, or even Sikshashtakam, even at this moment also, you so beautifully connect the Chatushlokas with the Sikshashtakam also. I don't know on what I will develop the hankering for Swayam Hari, for Krishna, but for our Swamini, because I find the Swamini in form of you, and I can tell one thing, but that the hankering to hear you, to see you, it develops. I'm just waiting when I will hear you, when I can see you. Really, it's wonderful, and it always amazed me when I hear you. Just Amrit is not the correct word, maybe, but I don't have any word that I can tell you, but your words have created the impression in my ear, in my heart. Yes, even it may be the slogan, and even I always remember that day when I heard first time the Vṛtrāsura shlokas in your lotus mouth. I just it's so the as you say, the hankering grows in every shlokas, but it really I can feel that because the feeling which you attach in every shlokas and in every word which you utter. Yes, I find myself in this sense so fortunate that you are my Shri Guru. And your mercy is sovereign. Only your mercy is sovereign. Without the mercy of Sakshat Hari, it is not possible to feel Lord. And that mercy, that Mahavadanyata, which Mahaprabhu came. But I find that Mahavadanyata in you. Thank you. Thank you, word is never ever sufficient. Because as I always say, तुम्ही भगवत गीता, तुम्ही पुराण, तुम्ही श्रीमद् भागवत गीता, तुम्ही श्रीमद् भागवतम मेरे लिए हर अंधकार में उजाला तुम ही हो. प्रणाम श्री गुरु. हरे कृष्णा.
All right, everybody stay healthy and focused. Krishna.
हम सब 3 बार हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र बोलेंगे. For our Shri Guru, to honor him from our heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
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 Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Rama
Rama.
Ram.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hari
प्रणाम
Bol.
श्री गुरु, दंडवत प्रणाम.
Pranam Shri Guru.
Pranam Shri Guru.
श्री भक्ति स्वरूप गोविंद महाराज जी की जय.
जय
Jai
जय
Ho.
Namavi Nitai Gaur
हरे
Bhaktivinoda
कृष्ण.
ki jai. Nitai
जय
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
जय.
Hari Bol.
Nitai.
कोटि धन्यवाद. प्रणाम श्री गुरु.
Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Hare Krishna.